Ed, where we at right now, my brother?
We are in my house in Suffolk, and this is like the one room that I do interviews in. Well, it's basically just like a massive guest book. So anyone that's ever been to the house is signed the wall. There's no speakers in it, and there's no no one's allowed their phone in it, and you basically come in and you just talk. But now it's just like, I kind of just let people stay here sometimes because, gets late at a party and you can just crash on these beanbags.
You've had a lot of company by the looks of the wall.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have my studio here, so anytime anyone comes to work down here, they sign it. So we've had, Taylor's been here, Stormzy's been here, we had Ryan Tedder came here, James Blunt, Big Nasty, a few ODGs come. It's just anyone I've ever worked with.
What is the science behind this project? Because I hear you talk about it, but it's not like, you don't talk about it like from the perspective of an album.
Yeah, well, before I was signed, I made lots of EPs, and I made a 8-track EP called Number 5 Collaborations Project with a load of UK rappers that I was a big fan of at the time. And then ever since then, I haven't done any collaborations on my own stuff. I've collaborated on lots of other people's things, but on my own records, it's kind of just been me. And I've kind of gone through life and been like, I wish I could work with them, And it was when I did the Beyonce and Andrea Bocelli, and I had them both on the Perfect single, I kind of started a thing on my laptop just saying number 6 collaborations. And just throughout the year, I was on tour all of last year, and just throughout the year, anytime I met anyone that I'd been a fan of, that I owned an album, it was the first time I'd been able to be like, let's get in the studio, but not so much just to make a song, but more for me. With this record, I just kind of just want to put it out and then move on from it. Just don't see it as the next stage of my career. It's just something that I've made that I just want to put out.
So this would be like your mixtape per se?
For me, this is a compilation album of artists that I am a fan of. That I've made music with. I wouldn't call it a mixtape, because I think a mixtape is a completely separate thing. I see this as a compilation album. It's just music I felt like at the time I wanted to make, and because I'm still on tour, I can just put it out and then move on to the next record. So I guess it is kind of like this for me.
I've never seen you do this many collaborations though, and you said it's only people that you like. So if you didn't make this project, you don't like them, is what you're saying?
No, it was all very, very natural. I find like the last thing I wanted to do was be like an artist where the label are just kind of like, you need to work with this person, you need to work with this person, then it's put together like that. So my rule for it was, if I have it and I play it in my car, I'm working with them. There are lots of artists out there that are huge that I could have worked with that just it would have made no sense to me.
You spent a lot of time in Nashville.
Yeah.
Why?
It's central in America, and it's like 2 hours anywhere, and there's a really good music scene there. But Nashville was it was a good hub. Everyone was always passing through.
Is that where you met my guy, Bobby Bones?
Yeah, I did. I went on the Bobby Bones show in 2013.
Bobby introduced us. You don't even remember that.
No, I do remember that. Yeah, no, that was at iHeartRadio Awards, and I remember. I think I made a really, really dirty joke because I was on camera with a light in my face, and I remember making a really dirty joke and then coming out of the light and seeing you and being like, oh God, he must have heard me do that. But then I don't think it mattered because your personality, you like a man that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But I just listened to your show, and it's every single day.
Well, you're on 2 Donkey of the Day intros.
Yeah, no, but I didn't even realise I'd done it there. Who's Donkey of the Day today? And
I was drunk.
Yeah, I didn't remember doing that. And then every now and then you go, well, Ed Sheeran. I was like, did I say that?
How did you get such a diverse taste in music? Because like you said, you are a pop artist, but you love, it seems like, all forms of music. How did you get that, especially growing up here? Well,
I don't see genres. I only see heart. If it really makes me feel something, then I like it. It's just something that makes you feel something, and it could just be fun. It could just be fun music that makes you feel happy, or it could be sad music that makes you cry, or makes you sad, or just it's any music that makes you feel something. And that's kind of what I've always been into, and I've always had quite a very diverse taste. I was brought up on folk and rock and roll, and then I got into rap and hip hop, and then into grime, and then acoustic music sort of took over. This project actually started with one idea I had, which was you remember Lady Marmalade, right? This is this such a silly idea, but I had an idea of doing that. And I was like, oh, you could get Bruno, Bieber and me on a record. How fun would that be? And obviously, like everyone, like the first person I rung was Bruno, and he was just like, I mean, let's just do a song together, just us, and then that's how it happened. So then I did a song with Bruno and did a song with Bieber, and then these individual songs started happening, and then it just turned into a project.
So out of all those collaborations, you handpicked everybody.
Yeah, it was a really great experience putting the record together.
I actually think it's dope, and I hope it's a trend that like continues, like for you to do this whole project. And of course you got artists on here that are established, but then you have artists who's big over here but it hasn't necessarily broken in the US.
They all have their success here, but it's just my audience is also completely different to their audience anyway. Like here, I mean, it's like it's just trying to open up myself to new audiences and them to new audiences, but in a very organic way.
Is that a passion of yours? Because like, you know, me being from South Carolina, like it's big for me to constantly want to put on for my state and to see other people from my state succeed. Is it the same for you when it comes to artists in the UK?
British music, yeah. I'm so proud to be where I'm from, and I feel music, English has the best musical exports. We've always had people that kind of go overseas and just, I think because here you kind of can make weirder music and still have a large amount of success.
That's interesting you say that though, because like when you look at Ed Sheeran, there's nothing about Ed Sheeran that says this is the industry package. You're the opposite of everything they probably think a pop star singer could be. So there's really no formula.
You need personality, and you need drive and hard work, and you need talent. And without those things, you will not have success. All those other people that get massive with just a really great personality.
What did you develop first?
Personality, because what else can you do if you're an unattractive ginger kid with glasses? You can just be funny and likable.
Yeah.
That's what.
Who the fuck said you're likable? You just gonna assume you're likable? You don't seem like you're in the lane of being predictable though. I don't think that, you know, the label can be like, hey Ed, we want another shape of you or another thinking out loud. I don't think you would give them that again.
Well, actually, I mean, the thing is with my label, I think because I've had a career of being unpredictable, that the last thing they do is ask me for another one. I think they just kind of let me be creative, and then I go to them and then they work out what's going to come. But you always have to create your own waves, and I'm sure there's something on this that I don't think will be big, that will probably be bigger than anything else just because it's its own wave, and I never know what the wave is.
You said something interesting that you said when you said you went to Chicago with Chance. How you feel like you have to give back to the culture.
Yeah, well, it's not just specifically the Chance thing, but I just think in Chance was just the example I used because Chance is so involved in
social justice, politics,
helping out, and I sat with him for 2 hours talking about it, and you can't leave Chicago and not feel like you need to try and make a difference.
A lot of times we feel like there's artists that love our culture but don't necessarily love us.
Which is what I was very, very scared of, which is like, because that's definitely not the place that I'm coming from with this. I don't know, I mean I'm not really the one to be speaking on it, but there are respectful ways to do it.
Yeah, it's like you said, you're not just doing the music, you're actually doing something that could possibly contribute to the betterment of that community.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's dope. Ed's being humble, he don't want to speak on it, but I think that's dope. And I think that's the way it should be, because like I said, people always say they love our culture, but they don't love us. You show that you love us when you do stuff like that.
It's about kind of just showing respect, not just being like, come to me.
So what else we doing, man? I'm here for 2 days. What's happening?
Well, we're just about to have haggis.
What?
You said to me, all I want to do is soak up culture.
Yeah.
And so I've got a Scottish chef, so we're going to have haggis. There's vegetarian haggis and normal haggis, so you can have whichever one you want. And then tomorrow we're going to have fish and chips. And then we're going to have a Sunday roast, even though it's Friday. And those are like, Sunday roast and fish and chips are like the two national dishes. And then now we're going to go to the pub. We're going to drink the local ale that's brewed by my mate's dad. And if you want Guinness, you can have Guinness. And then we're going to listen to the songs again. And then we're going to have a chat in my treehouse tomorrow.
You got a treehouse too?
I have a treehouse.
This guy's rich, man. This guy balling. It's a different level of balling. All right, well, let's go eat some haggis, man.
Cool. All right.